Gen 6 improves the surfaces your hand touches, changes the trigger shape, and redesigns how compatible optics connect to the slide. Gen 5 answers with something new guns cannot manufacture overnight: years of familiarity, support, and owner trust. And underneath the optic is where this stops being a simple generational update. One popular optic that fits the Gen 5 MOS like it was made for it, because it was, doesn't transfer directly to the Gen 6. The question will not be which Glock is newer, it will be whether the Gen 6 fixes enough of your Gen 5 to justify starting over. Welcome back to Glockaholic 76. Don't forget to subscribe, and if you like this video at the end, hit the like button because it helps us get seen by more people just like you. Today we're comparing the Glock 19 Gen 5 and the Glock 19 Gen 6, not as two pistols competing for a score, two ownership decisions. The Gen 5 owner usually is not asking, is the Gen 6 good? The harder question is it better in a way I will notice after the excitement wears off? A new buyer has a different problem. If both generations are available, does proven maturity matter more than the latest ergonomics? That's where Glock owners divide, and both sides have a legitimate argument. The Glock 19 has survived generation changes because its basic formula keeps working. Compact enough for concealed carry, large enough for serious training and a 15-round standard magazine, and it's a 4.02-inch barrel in a platform that can still fill more than one roll. Gen 5 introduced in 2017, and it wasn't a placeholder. Glock said it introduced more than 20 changes from the Gen 4. The Gen 5 MOS followed in 2018, and it gave red dot owners a factory adapter plate system. Gen 6 came along in 2026 with a completely different mission. Glock kept the recognizable architecture concentrated on the human interface: the grip, the trigger, the reach, texture, serrations, optic mounts. This comparison exists because the Gen 6 does not replace a bad pistol. It challenges a mature one that makes every improvement even more meaningful on the Gen 6, every compatibility loss harder to ignore. Both of these pistols are safe, clear, and unloaded, just the way we like it. There is no ammo anywhere. The Gen 6 is not Gen 5 with better texturing. Glock added a palm swell, the enlarged beaver tail, the thumb rest area, a higher undercut beneath the trigger guard, better texturing on the grip, a shorter reach to this newly designed flat face trigger. The deeper angled serrations in the front also change the way the slide feels. The Gen 5 is a lot more familiar. Some people, in their hands, it's interpreted as blocky. Other shooters like the flatter geometry because it gives their support hand a predictable surface and does not tell the hand where it has to sit. Gen 6 may feel different without feeling necessary. That exposes the first debate between these two pistols. Should a factory pistol fit more people out of the box, or should it remain a neutral platform owners can shape themselves? Fans of the Gen 6 will say Glock finally responded to the criticism that owners have been solving with stippling, grip reductions, extended beaver tails, trigger guard undercuts. There's some truth to that. The new frame tries to provide more contact and less reach before the owner spends another dollar. Fans of the Gen 5 say the grip shape is more of a personal choice. A palm swell that fills one hand can crowd another, and a more defined thumb rest can feel intuitive to one shooter and prescriptive to another. The modular back straps helped on the Gen 5, but they do not erase the underlying geometry. Texture and shape create an immediate emotional response. Familiarity reveals itself later, during draws, reloads, dry practice, maintenance, and thousands of small repetitions that never appear on a spec sheet. New buyers should really take a look at the Glock Gen 6 seriously because it may reduce that urge to modify it immediately. Gen 5 owners should be just as careful not to mistake different for better simply because the new frame announces itself more clearly. But the frame is not the change most likely to affect the rest of your equipment. The Gen 5 MOS uses Glock's established modular optics system, or the MOS. The metal MOS adapter plates attach to the slide, and the optic attaches to the plate with the screws that come with your optic. It's a layered system, so you have your slide, your plate, and then your optic. That extra interface is exactly what critics dislike. It adds extra height. It creates another set of fasteners to verify. The plate quality matters. Maturity has value. The market understands MOS. Plate makers now support it, have supported it. Owners know its habits, and troubleshooting information for the plates is everywhere. Gen 6 changes the architecture. Glock supplies 3 numbered polymer optic interface plates. Compatible optics use their own OEM screws through the selected interface and into the threaded holes in the slide. Functional terms, the polymer pieces locate and support the optic while the screw to the slide connection carries them out. That is why some owners casually, you'll hear the term crush plates or crush washers. The shorthand describes what the polymer plates appear to do, but Glock's official term is the optic plate. Gen 6 supports different optic families through different interfaces. Glock's current compatibility chart places the RMR family of optics and the full-size Holosun models such as the 407C, 507C, 507 Comp, 408T on the number 2 interface. Then there's the DPP family optics such as the Leopold, the EOTech E-Flex, and the Vortex Defender. They all use the number 4 interface. The optic makers' instructions still control the correct OEM screws and screw lengths and thread locker and torque. Remember never to just turn 15 inch-pounds into 15 pounds and never assume one torque value applies to every optic. On paper, the Gen 6 has the cleaner idea. Compatible optics connect directly to the slide instead of separate metal adapters, but direct mount does not mean a universal mount. This particular optic on here is the CV Life, just a basic optic for demonstration purposes. It's a couple of hiccups on this one initially, but for just a basic optic at the range, it does its job. The Holosun SCS-MOS optic, which I have here on the Glock 19 Gen 5. It does not directly mount to the Gen 6 optic. It just doesn't fit. It's something that I believe their manufacturers are now coming out with Gen 6 model optics. This particular MOS optic will only work on the Gen 5 MOS pistols out of the box. An owner who has spent some money on these optics, like myself, with the goal and the purpose in mind of removing the plates completely to get a more secure system, it's not something that I can simply move over and take advantage of that same setup on the Gen 6. The Gen 6 flat face trigger is one of the easiest changes to market because the owners can see and feel it instantly. It offers a more consistent looking contact surface, and it definitely can help shooters who felt stretched out on the Gen 5. This pistol is clear. The trigger breaks just like a Glock. Resets, very familiar to what you'd expect on a Glock Gen 5 or Gen 6. Not a whole lot of difference, in my opinion, between the two triggers. This is your Gen 6, and this pistol is clear. You have your 19, similar break, similar reset. I think the trigger just has a little bit of different feel to it. Now, the Gen 6 is definitely more comfortable for me to place my finger on, but as far as the trigger action, I don't notice a whole lot of difference. The Gen 5 was itself Glock's response to serious institutional and consumer demand. Glock connected its development to the M pistol used by the FBI and launched the commercial Glock 17 and the Glock 19 Gen 5 back in August of 2017. The MOS versions arrived the following year. In other words, Gen 5 had roughly 8 years to accumulate part support, service knowledge, optic solutions, and trust. Gen 6 may be the more refined design, but Gen 5, it's a mature system. Maturity is a feature that cannot be machined into a new slide. The Gen 5 aftermarket is enormous. The support out there and the products you can get, all of the accessories and changes, whether it be triggers, optics, lights, part, whatever it may be, there is a lot of support out there for the Gen 5. And Gen 6 tries to move some of those purchases into that factory experience because texture coverage, reshaped grip, a flatter trigger, deeper serrations, and a revised optic system may mean that a new owner has fewer immediate upgrades. Early adoption creates its own obligations, right? Holster compatibility. What good is a carry pistol if you can't find a holster that's going to fit it? Specific part compatibility cannot be assumed, as every optic combination deserves that special verification. And until you realize your old optics aren't going to work on your new pistol, it could be a serious investment. Here is the uncomfortable question. Do you want the generation with more ways to change it, or do you want to go with the generation that may need less changing? First, you hear the Gen 6 is what Glock should have made years ago. Better grip coverage, more considered ergonomics, the flat face trigger, a lower, more direct optic strategy. Those owners are not wrong to value that factory integration, especially with all the great and some say more modern options that are out there. The second camp says that the Gen 5 is already vetted. Optics are already mounted, their holsters work, their magazines, their spare parts, and their hands know the pistol. Those owners are not resisting the progress. They are protecting a complete system that they have validated. Then you have a third camp that likes the Gen 6 but refuses to use the word upgrade. They see it as a better starting point for a new buyer and not a mandatory replacement for your Gen 5 owner. That may be the fairest position in the entire debate. A product can be improved without making the previous version inadequate. The internet prefers a winner because winners are easy to defend. Ownership is less dramatic. The best choice may change depending on whether you are buying your first Glock 19 or disrupting one that already has earned its place. Comparing the shelf prices alone between these two pistols misses the real expense. For an existing Gen 5 owner, the upgrade costs can include a new holster moving to the Gen 6, new optics, new replacement for some of your spare parts if you keep some on the side, and the time required to validate that new setup. If your SCS-MOS is part of your Gen 5 package, compatibility alone can't change that financial answer. There is the cost that nobody calculates: restarting confidence. A trusted setup has value because every control, fastener, maintenance habit, and draw has become familiar and tested. Whether it's 1,000 repetitions or 10,000 repetitions, you are now comfortable with your pistol and you know what it can do and you know what it can't. You know how to draw, you know where to place your hand. All of that takes time and practice. That does not mean never upgrade. It means Gen 6 should solve a problem large enough to justify more than just the pistol's receipt. Some Gen 5 owners, though, will dismiss the Gen 6 before handling it because admitting the new ergonomics feel better threatens the value of a setup they have already spent months, years perfecting. That is human. It's not irrational. We defend decisions that become part of our identity. Some Gen 6 buyers are going to exaggerate the difference because new purchases feel better when the old generation is perceived to be obsolete. If Gen 5 remains excellent, the emotional reward of upgrading becomes harder to justify. Glock benefits from both reactions. The loyalists argue that nothing needs to change. Early adopters argue that every change was way overdue. The debate keeps the Glock 19 at the center of the conversation. The truth is less tribal. Gen 6 addresses legitimate complaints. Gen 5 remains a proven, capable platform. The owners who admit both can make better decisions than owners trying to win a generation war. There is still a real divide. If I were advising a new owner choosing between two similarly priced pistols, Gen 6 would deserve the first look. Its changes are concentrated where the owner interacts with the gun. Its optic system offers a cleaner connection for those supported optics. But I would not tell a satisfied Gen 5 owner that the Gen 6 automatically should earn their dollars. The holster and optics system they're using is established and the owner trusts the package completely, then Gen 6 may be an improvement without being a meaningful replacement. Gen 5 wins on maturity, compatibility, accumulated confidence that time brings. Gen 6 wins on factory refinements and future direction. The deciding factor is not which generation is objectively better, it's whether Gen 6 improves the part of Gen 5 you personally consider a compromise. Gen 6 is the better blank canvas. Gen 5 may still be the better finished painting. If you found this video helpful and you want to see more Glockaholic 76, I'd love to have you as a subscriber. And if you like this video, hit that like button. If you didn't, don't. Either way, I'd love to hear your thoughts. Glock 19 Gen 5 or Glock 19 Gen 6. Tell me a feature, compatibility issue, or ownership cost that decides it for you. Or maybe neither pistol. Then let me know what it is and why you think it is a better choice than the good old Glock 19. As always, I appreciate you watching my videos. Train smart, shoot often, stay ready. Glockaholic 76. Talk to you soon.